Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with today's edition of 90 Days and 900 Seconds, The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 5, My So Called Wi Fi. Interesting title. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid B. So let's set 900 seconds on the timer and let's hop right in. So, first of all, we start off with Brandan and Mary. And I just want to state as a disclaimer, this couple, they need couples therapy, not to rush into marriage. But let's get into it. Okay, so it's Brandan's first morning waking up in the Philippines. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! Wow, those roosters are really loud. Mary's like, yeah, they're loud every morning. So how did you sleep, Bobby? Well, Bobby, that's their cute nickname for each other. It was kind of uncomfortable because I woke up kissing the wall. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, and when I woke up in the middle of the night to go pee, you weren't in bed. Did you go somewhere? And she's like, yes. I went to go sleep in the living room because you were kicking me in the head. And he's like, okay, well, maybe if we weren't sleeping head to toe, I wouldn't be kicking you in the head. And he's, doubting himself because he's traveled like 3 days and a trillion miles, and they've been talking 2.5 years on the phone. And now that he's finally there in person, she doesn't even want to sleep like next to him. She wants to sleep head to toe. And then she goes into the next room when he's kicking her in the head. So he's like, feeling like not too happy about himself at the moment. Then they go into the kitchen for breakfast. And this is where, things are getting, if you thought they were creepy, this is a little bit, Mary starts feeding him. And Mary's like, here, you need to eat. You need to put some meat on your bones. And she starts feeding him adobo chicken. And he's like, this is good. I like this. But she's like shoving the food in his mouth like a mama bird would feed her baby bird, but she's not letting her baby bird chew and swallow. So the poor guy has like chunks of food in his mouth. He's like, and she's still shoving more food in his mouth. So he's like trying to chew the food that's already in his mouth. And she's still shoving chunks of adobo chicken. She said she wants him to eat so she could fatten up those bones because she wants to hug on him like a teddy bear. This couple needs therapy. Okay, so Brandan is going to work with LoLo on the farm and help him, field some rice. Okay. So Brandan is, deciding that he's going to come clean with LoLo. And he's asking Mary, do you think it's a good idea that I come clean with your grandfather and tell him that we kissed at the airport? And Mary's like freaked out because she doesn't know how her grandfather's going to react. So Brandan goes to the field to help LoLo on the farm. And I give Brandan his props. He is really trying his best. Okay. This is not what he's used to. He's totally out of his comfort zone. He is in a field of mud and feces and urine up to his waist. And he is on a platform behind a caribou, trying to guide the caribou through the mud. And he's going with it. He's going with it. Him and LoLo cannot communicate because they do not speak the same language. But Brandan's doing his best to adapt, and he goes with it, and he doesn't fall face first into the mud. A round of applause for Brandan. Okay, so Brandan and LoLo and Mary are sitting there, and Lolo's like, you did a good job on the farm. I give you your props, even though I personally don't think you're suited for farm work, but considering it's your first day, I'll give you your props. And Brandan's like, you know, I think it's time to come clean because I respect him as a man and I want him to respect me as a man. So, LoLo, I tongued down your granddaughter the minute I saw her at the airport. And LoLo just kind of looks at them. And he's just kind of like, hmm. He's angry. He's angry. But I bet the fact that Brandan has contributed $50,000 to $60,000 to the house that he's living in at the moment kind of like pads the anger. But he's angry though, because Brandan did not ask permission. So Brandan once again asks for formal permission to tongue down his granddaughter, and LoLo grants it. But LoLo says, you need to get married immediately, okay? So start planning your wedding, and, you know, and we'll arrange for you guys to get married. And Brandan's like, hold up, wait a minute. Don't get me wrong. I love Mary and everything. I do want to propose to her. We have lots of things we need to work out, though. Jealousy and trust issues and all these things. And I just kissed her. Like, I didn't even get a home run. I have to marry her already? Like, geez. Okay. So now we get to the interesting part. Mary takes Brandan to meet her friends. Okay. So Brandan asks Mary, do your friends like me? And Mary's like, well, one in particular is not crazy about you because of your jealousy issues with me hanging out with them. And he's like, oh, well, did you tell them about your jealousy issues and how I'm not even allowed to breathe the same airspace as another woman? That I'm not even allowed to have male friends in case they have girlfriends who have friends who have friends who have friends that are females, and I may breathe the same space as them, and that is not allowed in your world, Mary? Did you tell that to your friends? No, you did not. Okay. So Mary's friends arrive and they're, you know, talking about Brandan's trust issues and how Brandan didn't want her Mary to hang out with them. And then, because, you know, there's always a messy friend in the friend group. In every friend group, there's always one messy friend, and Mary has a messy friend in her friend group. And he was sitting there like this, listening to the whole conversation. And he said, oh, did Mary tell you that she unplugs her Wi-Fi when she comes to hang out with us? Bing, bing. Mary's busted. Brandan's like, what? Wait a second, just to think about it. All those times you told me there was a power outage, there hasn't been a power outage since I've been here, girl. And Mary's like, you'll see, there's going to be a power outage. And Brandan cannot believe that Mary, of all people, Mary with the trust issues that breathes down his neck for just breathing the same airspace as another woman, unplugs her Wi-Fi to go hang out with her friends and has been lying to him this whole time. Oh, Mary, 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 you're not as sweet, as innocent as you were making yourself seem to be to your Brandan, huh? It's all coming out in the wash right in front of you. And your friend, your messy, messy friend is loving it. He's sitting there with a smile on his face like, girl, I just spilled all your dirty laundry. So Mary's friends are just like, we just don't want her to get hurt. We don't think rushing into marriage is a great idea right now. And you guys just need to take time to get to know each other. And Brandan's like, listen, I have no problems with her hanging out with you guys. We could all hang out together. Yay. We'll all hang out together. So here we go. We shall see. Pinky promise to stop being jealous. Pinky promise. Yay. Okay. Moving on to another shit show. Kimberly and TJ. So we pick up. TJ is desperately trying to fix this argument after Kimberly called him a dick last week, okay? He stormed out. Kimberly's still sitting in bed. He comes upstairs and he's like, listen, you've been in this room for 24 hours. Why don't we go outside and have a conversation? I think it's better if we go outside, get some fresh air, clear our brains, and talk. Okay. So TJ's explaining that the reason why he just got up and left because his feelings were really hurt by the way she was speaking to him. I mean, it was downright abusive. Let's call a spade a spade. It was downright abusive. She was calling him a dick and he didn't like it. And instead of intensifying the argument, he got up and walked out. He removed himself. Kimberly asks, next time you feel like you have to remove yourself, just say, Kimberly, I'm removing myself, and walk out. Okay. So, Kimberly, you left a bad impression with my family, TJ says. And Kimberly's like, this is what I'm afraid of. This is why I didn't want to move in with your family. Because now every time we argue, they're going to be down my neck. Kimberly, welcome to the Indian culture. I thought you did your research. I thought you lived there for a year. I thought you knew what was up. But obviously, you didn't do your research. Okay? You marry an Indian man in India. You're going to live with his family. And yes, his family is going to be all up in your business. Okay? Welcome to traditional Indian culture. I'm sure TJ's mom had to deal with it with her mother-in-law when she first got married. This is something that you just have to deal with. And 30 years down the road, you will be doing it to your future daughter-in-law. Okay? So that's it. So they're having a Lord Ganesha ceremony. Okay? And TJ compares the wedding to a Super Mario game where you have to reach, you have to go through levels to marry him. So I guess this is level 1, the ceremony. And it's supposed to bring them luck and longevity to their marriage. Okay? So basically they're playing music, they're serving sweets, they're giving gifts to the bride and groom. Kimberly doesn't quite know what's going on. She's just sitting there smiling, having sweets shoved in her mouth, accepting gifts, going with the flow. TJ thanks her, for participating in the ceremony, for going along with it for his family's sake. He knows that she has no idea what's going on. She's stepping out of her comfort zone, and he appreciates it. And he thanks her. And Kimberly's like, I'm going with the flow. I can't believe we're getting married soon. And it's just all, sinking in. This is the 7-day countdown to our marriage. And she asks him, what will my day-to-day life be after we get married? And TJ laughs. And TJ's like, well, I would have to come up with a schedule because now I have a different role as a husband. And, your role as a wife would be cooking and cleaning and etc. But, TJ's not telling her everything because he knows that she's going to freak the fuck out because she didn't do her research. So anyway, next scene, we have Kimberly going shopping for traditional wedding bangles for her wedding attire. Okay? And TJ's at work. So Yash, her brother-in-law, is going with her. So she calls her relationship with Yash as cordial. That's how she classifies her relationship. Cordial. Okay. So she says that she and Yash are like the same person. Okay. They're very strong minded and they want things done their way or the highway. So she picks out her bangles ensemble and she and Yash are sitting on a bench and they're talking. Okay. And Yash is like, so Kimberly, how are you doing? And Kimberly's like, I'm realizing that married life is going to take a lot of adjustment. For instance, I have to schedule when I want to make pasta because I can't cook garlic and onions. And it's really bothering me because, cooking garlic is who I am. And eating pasta is who I am. This is basically what she's saying, because this cooking garlic and onions thing and not being able to eat pasta is really bothering her. That she brings it up repeatedly, that she cannot cook garlic. And Yash is like, and I can see Yash, I can understand why. He's frustrated. He's like, you're not in the West anymore. You are in India. You need to understand our culture, our religion. And we do not present our bodies with garlic in it. Okay? We do not have garlic in our homes. Then Kimberly asks, what happens if I decide to eat meat again? And Yash is like, if you decide to eat pork or beef, you will no longer be part of this family. You are becoming part of this family. You need to abide by the family's rules and traditions. That's just the way it goes in India, Kimberly. I thought you did your research. And she's like, no. Hold up, wait a minute. No. And Yash is like, don't you understand that you are just going to make it harder on TJ? If anyone is going to suffer, it's going to be TJ. Okay? And then it turns into a pissing match, basically, on who gave up more. And Yash is like, no, he gave up more. She's like, no, I gave up more. Yash is like, why are you so obsessed with garlic? How tasty is garlic that you're obsessed with it? I mean, it just turned into a pissing match. And you know something? It's ridiculous. And I get that the brother is standing up for his brother, and this is all part of Indian culture. And all I have to say is, Kimberly, I thought you did your research. You lived here for a year. You should know what's up. Just saying. And the brother called her stupid. Yes, he did. Okay. And the brother said, you are not staying with the family temporarily. Stupid. And she said, are you calling me stupid? Yes, he called you stupid. Okay, Kimberly? And then he said, you aren't understanding my words. And she said, well, you're not speaking clearly. I think he was speaking very clearly. He was saying, once you marry TJ, the family living situation is not a temporary situation. Okay? It's permanent. You will be living with your in-laws until they pass. That's it. Get it through your head. But she's stuck on the fact that Yash called her stupid. So, needless to say, the conversation between her and her future brother-in-law did not end well. So we shall see what happens next week. So now moving on, we have Danielle and Yohan. And Yohan loves Danielle's friends, and so do I. And I knew they were Boricuas. My friends, my very, very best friends in the whole wide world are Boricuas, and I knew that Danielle's friends are Boricuas. They have the attitude, just the way that they talk. I knew that they were New York and Boricuas the minute they stepped off the plane, and I love it. I love Danielle's friends, and I invite them to join my friend group anytime. So anyway, they are positive, fun, happy women. Unlike Danielle, just saying. So Danielle wants a kid. She wants a kid because Yohan wants a kid. And her friends are like, yo, you really need to think about this. Okay. They're going to go the medical route with an egg donor. And that's expensive. And she's only been in DR for less than a year. Like her friend said, not only did you rush into a marriage, all right, that's done already. You done married him. So we can't like focus on that. Okay. But you haven't even been here for a year. Like, slow down. Slow down just a little bit. Like, enjoy. Take a step back. Breathe. Yes, we know, Danielle, you're up there in age and you want to give Yohan children. But your friend has a good point. Yohan is currently unemployed. This is expensive, and this will all fall on you. And yes, I know Yohan wants to have a child, but speaking from a woman who's in your age group, do you want to have a child at your age? Just saying. But I get it. You want to give Yohan what he wants, but your friends are like, yo, just take a step back and think about this, Danielle. So they go to see Yohan's family down by the river. Okay. Now, Danielle hates going by the river. Danielle would rather stay by the beautiful beaches and the ocean. No, she says she needs a bacteria test every time she goes down by the river because of the water. She doesn't know what's in it. And she needs to maintain the pH balance of her florals and faunas. Okay. Even her friends were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Florals and faunas. Please, bitch. Please pack that shit, please. Her friend was totally into it. Her friend loved it. She was like, this is Caribbean paradise right here. Yeah, the beaches are nice. The rivers. This down here. The cow smiling at me. The other friend was like, yo, did you see that cow? That would be me. That would be me and my friend. Okay. One of us would be like, did you see that cow, bitch? I love the cow. I want to go pet the cow. Fuck petting the cow, bitch. That cow's gonna come charging at us. No, that cow's so friendly. I want to go pet the cow. That would be me. That would be me and my friend. Okay. One of us complaining about the cow shit, and the other one of us wanted to go pet the cow. Okay. I love Danielle's friends. They were like, Yohan's family, so welcoming. Yohan is like a 6'7" kid when he's hanging out with his family. He was a 12-pound baby. Danielle was like, yo, I can't have your baby. It's going to rip me apart. Okay. So Danielle and her friends are sitting on rocks in the river. Danielle's making sure only her feet are in there because she doesn't want to fuck up her florals and faunas, pH balance, whatever the fuck. And, she's just concerned about the way things are in the DR when it comes to like structure. Okay. Because, she knows that when it comes down to it, she's going to be the strict parent and Yohan's going to be the fun dad. So we shall see how this turns out. But Danielle is not the only one on a quest for fertility this season, and I shall get into it in a moment. Kirsten and Julio. I really hope that they agreed on this storyline before they started filming, and this is not real, because Julio changing his mind about moving to be with Kirsten because of pizza and French toast. Hello. Okay. So Kirsten is pissed off about the Halloween party. And Julio quickly starts backpedaling, and he throws his homeboy Vincent under the bus. So Kirsten is like, what's up with that? We've had these plans for months, forever, that you are going to the Netherlands and you're moving in with me. Now you're like, well, maybe I should get my own space. What's up with that shit, Julio? And he's like, I didn't say that. Vincent did. Talk about throwing your boy under the bus, Julio. So he's like, I'm sorry. I don't want to lose you. I love you. Let's go out for breakfast. So he takes her out for breakfast, and they have eggs Benedict. Okay. And he's like, oh, check this out. Home fries for breakfast. You never thought you would have potatoes for breakfast. And he also has French toast in front of him, right? So he's like, oh, one thing I'm really gonna miss is the food. Pizza. No, he asked Christian, what was her favorite thing here that she's eaten here? And Christian said the pizza in New York. And he's like, yeah, I'm really gonna miss New York pizza. I think I want to stay because I'm going to miss New York pizza. And she's like, you could just take a train to Italy and get Italian pizza, the best pizza in the world. And he's like, those dollar slices in Times Square, nothing like it. I would rather have those dollar slices in Times Square than real, genuine Italian pizza. Now, respectfully, coming from a New Yorker, an Italian New Yorker who has lived here all her life, who knows about those dollar slices that aren't $1 anymore, and has eaten greasy slices of pizza, gourmet slices of pizza, really good slices, really shitty slices, Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, you name it. I know my pizza. I would give my left fucking arm and my right tit to have a pie from Italy, an authentic Italian pizza pie. Fuck the dollar slices from Times Square. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Okay? So Christian is just like, I don't like this shit. I'm leaving tomorrow. He's making every excuse in the book. First, he didn't tell his mother. Now he's coming up with all these ideas about me living in America for a couple of months out of the year, when we have discussed over and over that I have no intention in living in America. So I don't know what's up with this, and we shall see. So now, Kenny and Armando and his mother continue to rip my heart out of my chest. Armando decides to continue the conversation with his mom, not in front of Hannah, about really what he went through once he came out and how he felt like he really had to leave his town of San Felipe, because at one point he was so depressed, he was suicidal. And his mother just sat there and cried and cried and apologized. And I sat there and cried with the both of them, because it's sad for the both of them. It's sad that Armando had to go through all of the emotions, the thoughts, the depression, the thoughts of suicide, everything that he went through during that dark period of his life. Hearing him talk about how Hannah was his little savior made me cry even harder. Looking at his mother, knowing the guilt that she must feel, knowing, seeing in her eyes and hearing in her voice how much she loves her son, and hearing her apologize over and over, seeing the two of them embrace. I was just a sloppy mess, probably menopause, but hey, I was a sloppy mess. Then Armando breaks the news that there's another reason why they're in Mexico City. They are going to a fertility clinic, and Armando wants to check out the chances of possibly having a child. So it's a race to see who is going to have a child first this season. Kenny or Danielle? Let's see who will get pregnant first. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit the notification bell so you guys know when I'm uploading my next video or going live. Please share my video with a friend or 10, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.